I'm starting to realize that a lot of our suffering comes from doing something merely for the result, right? I think whenever we're doing something and the result takes precedent over the action itself and the doing itself, we come up against a lot of internal resistance and consequently external resistance as well, right? But whenever we allow the action to become the result itself, not only do we recognize that joy and happiness can be found merely from the act itself, but that's when things truly begin to work out in our favor, right? The other day I was sort of thinking about the concept of manifestation, right? And I was thinking that when it comes on to manifestation, we greatly overcomplicate it, right? And I was thinking that our manifestation is allowing ourselves to be present. Allowing ourselves to be present and to feel whatever emotion that we would feel as a result of a particular result in the present moment and in the doing itself, right? So if we want to experience a certain level of success, allowing ourselves to feel that success from the action itself without needing a particular outcome is the thing that is going to create that outcome, right? If it's love that we want to experience, allowing ourselves to feel that love wherever we are in the process of dating, that's how we end up attracting the love that we truly desire, right? All we have to do is to feel those emotions in the doing and allow ourselves to detach from a particular outcome. That's really all manifestation truly is. And when it comes on to life, right, if you really think about it, all we really desire in life is to feel. All we truly desire in life are truly the feelings. We might think it's a particular thing that we desire, but it's really the feelings that are attached to that particular thing or that particular outcome, right? The reason we want success is truly for the feeling that success is going to bring to us, right? That feeling of feeling sort of fulfilled and happy and content with ourselves. The reason why we want love or we want to attract a particular relationship is because we want to experience those feelings of love, those feelings of not only being loved but loving someone else as well, right? So all we truly desire in life is to feel, right? That's truly all that we desire. But I don't think our feelings have to be dependent on something external. I don't think our feelings have to be dependent on a particular result, right? I think it's about recognizing that ultimately we already are the result. And what I mean by that is we don't have to do to become. We do because we already are. Everything that we're chasing outside of us already exists within us. If it's success that we truly desire, success already exists right here, right? If it's love that we desire, love is already right here. If it's friendship that we desire, friendship is already right here because we are our greatest friends. We are our greatest comrade, right? Everything that we truly desire externally already exists within us internally. And it's about recognizing that those things are natural to our being, right? All those things are natural to us. And we can find joy, we can find happiness, we can find fulfillment in just doing, in just acting, right? Finding joy in the process. I think when it comes on to life is truly simple, right? Life is about just our expression. That's all it truly is. Everything that we do should be for the journey itself, right? And I know that it sounds cliche to say, it's not the destination, it's the journey, but it's true. right? Life is about the process. Life is about the journey. Life is about, I guess, allowing ourselves to be, showing up every day and giving our best and feeling good about giving our best without needing a particular outcome. That truly is, what life is about. But very often I feel as if, we sort of need a particular outcome to sort of feel good about ourselves. And even beyond that, this is something that I personally experienced. One of the reasons why I was so attached to a particular outcome was because I wanted to prove myself to other people, right? I wanted to show other people that I can be successful. I wanted to show other people that I'm capable of attracting a particular person and being loved, right? For a large portion of my life, a lot of the things that I did was truly to prove myself to others, right? It truly was. But when it comes on to life, you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. When it comes on to life, you don't have to prove your worth. You're already worthy. Worth isn't something that we acquire externally. Worth is something that we recognize internally, something that we remember, right? Our worth is independent of anything external. We don't have to get a particular result to be worthy. Our worth is really in the doing. Our worth is in the acting. Our worth is in our being. And once you recognize that, you begin to detach yourself from the need to have any particular result. It's not so much that you don't desire to have that success. It's not so much that you don't desire to have that person. It's more so that you come to the recognition that you don't need it. You don't need it because you're already complete. You don't need it because you're already whole. Right? That's what detachment is. It's about recognizing that everything already exists within you. A lot of us go through this world and we sort of feel as if, who we are isn't good enough, right? And to a large extent, it's really programming because society teaches us to sort of hate ourselves. Society teaches us that naturally we're not worthy and we sort of have to go out into the world and prove our worth, right? Society teaches us that we're unworthy. And so a lot of us even end up going out into the world and trying to affirm our worth in a relationship, trying to get somebody to show us that we're capable of love, right? We're worthy of being loved, right? And so for the most part, our worth and our validation is always dependent on the external. And this is why a lot of us are so dependent on results, right? But life is truly about the being. Life is about your expression, right? Life is about, your curiosity. That is what life is about. That truly is what life is about. It's never truly about the result itself. Sure, the result is enjoyable. Sure, it's nice to have the fruits of your labor. But ultimately, it's all in the journey. And once we allow the journey, once we allow our actions to become the result itself, we begin to recognize that joy and happiness exist right where we are, right? Loving ourselves, being content with ourselves exists right where we are. And everything that we do is merely an expression of that love. Everything that we do is merely just sharing parts of ourselves with the world. When it comes on to, life, I think it's about just sharing you with the world, right? And when I say sharing you with the world, what I mean is sharing your creativity, sharing your form of expression. If your talent is making music, it's about sharing that gift with the world. If your talent is recording videos, making videos on YouTube, it's about sharing your gift and yourself with the world, right? Everything that you're doing is to share your gift with the world. That's truly it. And by merely sharing your gift with the world, you never truly know whose life you're going to change. You never truly know whose life you're going to impact, right? A lot of us get so caught up in the results and we don't even realize that our simple actions, right? Those minute actions, right? You sharing a word of encouragement, on YouTube could be the reason why someone decides to live tomorrow or live today, right? You, you know, making that music could be the reason why somebody finds some level of joy or happiness, right? Or gets a break from a lot of the suffering that they're experiencing internally, right? You never truly know how your simple actions that you might think are simple is going to impact the world or impact other people. But we very often get so caught up in the result, right, and the fruits, that we miss out on realizing that every single moment of life, every single action that we take is making a change in the world, whether for the better or for the worst. And it truly is about the journey. It's about our actions. And we can find joy in just being. Right? And I think the moment we detach ourselves from the result, the moment we don't allow ourselves to sort of become so attached to a particular outcome, that's truly when life begins to work out for us. Because like I've always said before, when it comes down to the universe, life and the universe can never truly give us what we think we lack. And if we're so constantly attached to the result, then to some degree we're signaling that we don't already have that result, right? Success flows from within. Success is truly an inside out process, right? Love is an inside out process, right? It comes from recognizing that we already have what we need within us. It comes from recognizing that we already are the result, and we don't constantly need external things and external accolades and the results to affirm us. We already are the affirmation, right? We already are what we truly desire, and it's about recognizing that. And so I see all this to say, it's probably not going to be a long video. Allow the action to become the result itself. When it comes on to life, all you have to do is simply show up every day and give your best, right? You don't need a particular outcome to feel good about yourself. You don't need a particular result in order to feel as if you're someone. You are someone right now. Your worth is never dependent on what you acquire externally, right? And the more you allow yourself to enjoy the journey, the more you allow yourself to be content with simply just acting and sharing a part of yourself with the world, that's when things truly begin to work in your favor. But a lot of times we block our blessings, a lot of times we block our manifestation, and we block things, from truly working out for us, simply because we're so attached to the result. And wanting the result, there's nothing wrong with that. But needing it and being so attached to it signals to the universe that we believe we already don't have it within us. And the world can never truly give you what you think you lack. So be present. Allow yourself to be present and intimate with whatever it is that you're doing. Right? Share parts of yourself and continue to share those parts of yourself with the world. And trust that things will unfold when they are meant to unfold. Right? There's only so much that we can truly control. All we can truly control is what we put in. All we can truly control is, our actions, right? But the fruits and the results is never truly up to us. And the more we force things, the more we force a particular outcome, the more we need a particular outcome, is the more distant that outcome becomes from us. But the moment you detach, The moment you recognize that you don't need that particular result and you already have all that you need right here, that's when the external begins to reflect that. And that's when things truly begin to work out for you, right? So let the action be the result itself. Show up every day, give your best, continue to share you with the world, continue to be the greatest form of your expression, and allow things to unfold naturally. Allow things to unfold on its own timing, right? So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here with me. Take care of yourselves. Give yourselves a bit of love every day, like I always say. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace and blessings.